This Antonio Brown saga is getting crazy, folks. What's up? Fred Richani, TSC, with some more breaking news regarding Antonio Brown and the Oakland Raiders, soon to be Las Vegas Raiders. According to head coach Jon Gruden himself, Antonio Brown is playing Monday night against the Cleveland Browns. Just the other day, Adam Schefter of ESPN, who's a great reporter, said that, Antonio Brown's likely never to play again for the Oakland Raiders or play at all because he hadn't even played in preseason. It's likely the situation's volatile. It's likely it's not going to get resolved. Yada, yada. We heard all this stuff. He's going to be traded. He's going to be cut. They're going to try to avoid his $30 million guarantee. And here we are, 24 hours later, and Antonio Brown is officially going to be playing on Monday Night Football. He's officially going to be playing for the Oakland Raiders. If you're a Raiders fan right now, you probably got to be like ecstatic, but your hands in your face, and you're like, well, what the hell's going on here? If you're a season ticket holder, even worse. But if you're a Raiders fan, I think this is good news because let's keep it real. I am not condoning any of Antonio Brown's actions. However, Mike Mayock hasn't proven, pardon my language, shit in the NFL when it comes to being a GM. And you can't suspend a guy or try to get rid of a guy or void a guy's contract when, one, you know that's going to be a huge issue with the Players Association. Two, you got to attract free agents, especially when you go to Las Vegas. And three, when you sign Richie Incognito, the same guy who's been accused of racism in the NFL. Forget the Jonathan Martin saga. Let's talk about recently. This dude was at his father's funeral and threatened to murder everybody in the funeral parlor if they didn't let him decapitate his dead father. That's a true story. You could Google it, folks. And I think that happened like last year. Now he got a chance, and I'm sure Richie Incognito's fine in that locker room, and he's not threatening to cut off people's heads. But still, Antonio Brown is guilty of being a pain in the ass. He's guilty of being a prick. Okay, but this guy ain't a criminal. He hasn't been arrested to the best of my knowledge. He's never done anything quote unquote illegal. Has he been a pain in the ass? Abso-freaking-lutely. Does he deserve scrutiny? Abso-freaking-lutely. But guess what? The Oakland Raiders haven't been relevant in 20 years. I mean, maybe less than 20 years, but still. Might as well be 20 years. Let's round up. They had that one season where they made the playoffs a couple years ago. People talked about David Carr as an MVP candidate. Then he gets hurt at the worst possible time before the playoffs. And then after that, they don't make the playoffs and he sucks again. Like, this is the Oakland Raiders' chance to be relevant again. And look, even with Antonio Brown, without all the drama, they probably would have gone 5-11, 6-10. I mean, they're not a good team at all. But at least now they have some hope. And the reality is this. Mike Mayock ain't there for long. Because Jon Gruden is the one who's the money man. Jon Gruden's the one that they paid an exorbitant amount of money, I believe 10 years, $100 million to be there and bring him back to prominence. And at the end of the day, whether you like Antonio Brown or not, people got to realize something. Football's not just a sport. It's entertainment. It's freaking entertainment. And when you're the Oakland Raiders and you haven't done jack shit in 20 years, you need something to put asses in the seats. So, as far as I'm concerned, it's a good move. And look, if it doesn't work, guess what? Then you could get rid of him. But at least you could say, you know what? We played him week 1. We played him week 2. It didn't work out. He either wasn't productive on the field or he was, a locker room nuisance like during the game or whatever. That's fine, but at least try to get him on the field. I mean, seriously, Lord knows all the crazy players that the Oakland Raiders have had over the last 20 years, okay, that weren't half as talented as Antonio Brown. So that's all I'm saying. Give it a chance, see if it works out. And last time I checked, Tyreek Hill is getting a contract extension, and that guy threatened to beat up his baby mama and his kid. Actually, I think it might be his wife now. Whatever. Doesn't matter. This guy has been trouble since he's been in the league. Real trouble. And he's getting a contract extension. So, I don't know. We'll see what happens. But I want to hear from you. What do you think about the situation? Are you ready to throw in the towel on Antonio Brown? Do you think the Raiders have some glimmer of hope now that he's going to play? Let me know. Leave a comment below. Tweet us. Facebook us. Do what you got to do. If you enjoyed this update, please like, share, take care. Don't forget to subscribe. And in the meantime, I'm going to go update my fantasy team because AB is officially activated. Wow. Wow. Much better than the Packers and Bears game. Way more interesting.